I dropped it. This is like the third time I've dropped the setup. I just need it to be positioned in the right way.
What the dog doing?
First of all, before I start this video, look, I did my own nails. I'm so proud of them. I don't know, like I just had to tell you, we're doing blue for the holiday season. I don't like the dark greens. I've done light green, like really, really light green. And I don't like doing red. So that's like Christmas theme. And like, I don't know, I couldn't do my nails in Christmas theme. So I did blue. So that's just quick intro. Okay, so today I decided to do a what I read in 2023 video because this is a lifestyle channel. This is my lifestyle. I love reading so much. It's such a good way, like a good form of escapism, you know? So I love reading, but like it was really difficult for me to read this year. Like for example, last year, my reading goal was 20 books. I read 25, right? So because I started school this year and I had to obviously concentrate on school, I set my reading goal to be 15 books, okay? I found that I read more during my exam seasons because I had take-home exams, so there wasn't much studying to do, much preparing to do. I just would read because I would be more at home, if that makes sense. So that's why before these final exams, around August, I was still on like 9 books. So the fact that I read an additional 9 between August and now today is like the 2nd of December, I'm really proud of myself because also reading takes so much brain power, especially for me. I'm just very proud of myself. Just as a quick overview, because I don't really talk about reading that much, my favorite books are romantic fantasy books or like YA, young adult romance books. But nowadays I've been reading books that were popular when I was a little bit younger, like when I was in maybe grade 7, whatever. So you'll see in this book, what I read in 2023, there's a lot of that like old books, but like I really enjoy them, especially if like I can refer back to the movies like in my head. And then like, I don't know, when I was younger, it feels like I was watching just to look at pictures, right? But now that I've read some of the books, it feels like I can explain, like it explains what happened, you know? So most of these books where I read the old ones, I then watched the movie afterwards. And let me say, it's true what they say, okay? The movie sucks compared to the book. You'll see, I'll talk about it more later, but I hate that. So like I said, I set a reading goal for 15 books. I read 18 so far. I'm still gonna read more. I'm planning on reading more during this December holiday on my Kindle. Quick aside, not aside. I'm falling in love with my Kindle. Okay, wait, let me go get it. I can't believe I don't even have it. Okay, here she is, okay? She has her own bag. Slay! Thumbnail. Sorry. So she has her own sleeve. And she's suddenly a she now. I don't know. This is the back of my Kindle. Oh, my stickers fell. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, you can see the back of my Kindle is a Paperwhite. I think it's a 2022 Paperwhite signature edition. So it has all of the nice signature edition things. I just found it on sale and I got it, and I love the size of it. It's just special to me, okay? The clear back. Now, usually with this type of style, like all over TikTok, they're busy like saying like, oh, you get a clear case, you put stickers underneath and you decorate it. If you see, mine is a little bit frosted because it's so hard to get Kindles Kindle covers that are not frosted. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, I have a pop socket, I have a clear one. Then my stickers, treat people with kindness. From another point of view, I just liked how it was upside down. You can see that like the theme is like mostly colorful. And okay, I'm gonna tell you now, my current read is Fourth Wing. So yeah, I have fallen in love with my Kindle. I would recommend a Kindle for anyone who wants to get into reading, especially like people who don't want, like for example, my father doesn't like a whole bunch of things lying around, so I can't really be a book collector. So this Kindle, like, I don't know, it's just a win-win. I have thousands and thousands of books in here. I mean, it's a little bit cheaper to get it in the Kindle version than the paperback, and it's like at an instant, and you like, you know, but the instantaneous thing is a little bit dangerous. Like I found that I'd be like, okay, let me just download this, download that, as if like it's not charging to my card. But anyways, yeah, Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. That's where I read most of my books. Actually, only 2 out of the 18 books that I've read are physical. So I'm gonna start with the physical books. First, I read Queen Charlotte because I loved the Netflix series. It was so nice. Loved it so much. I even annotated in this book. And I feel like reading it again because it was just, I never thought I would read a historical romance, but I really, really enjoyed this. Especially, I think I really like watching and then reading because it's like, when you read, you kind of see what's in their head, you know, and like what's going on and how they're thinking, and like just opposed to like the series where it's like you just need to see by their face or whatever that this is what they're thinking, whatever. So I love this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5. Wait, I should be doing it properly like all the other booktubers on here, even though I'm not an official booktuber. My lifestyle videos just have a booktube component. So let me start again. I got too excited. This book, Queen Charlotte by Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes. Obviously it's based on the Bridgerton background, and like, but it's like, you know, the books before, because this is Queen Charlotte when she was younger and her falling in love with, was it Edward? King George. I really, really love this book. I'm gonna read it again. I have a lot of read agains, okay, especially from last year. But yeah, this is 5 out of 5. Would recommend. I would literally recommend this book. I love it so much. I annotated in this book. Okay. Second book that I read physically was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. It's a part of the Immortal Instruments, Shadowhunters, warlocks, demons, whatever. I really like fantasy, so it was a really nice book. For me, it was a reread because I wanted to get back into the Shadowhunters world and all of that. I want to finish Mortal Instruments. I want to read Infernal Devices, I think it's called. I want to read The Clockwork Angel, whatever. I just want to get into that universe. So that's why I started City of Bones. I actually did not continue, but I'm thinking I'm going to continue in this December. And in my January video, you'll probably see, I'll probably tell you if I've read any books, you know. So those are my 2 physical books. I had to get this in physical. I'm sorry to go back to Queen Charlotte. I had to get this in physical. I knew that this book would be so nice because I really enjoyed the Netflix series. And you know how they say books are better than the physical thing. Okay, so let's start with my thingy. So I record my book stats on Goodreads. So I'm just looking through my Goodreads right now, but I also recorded on Storygraph because I love the statistics that they give you. So like, for example, I love the fact that they tell me that I've read 4,457 pages. Like, I feel so accomplished. I could brag about that, even though it doesn't feel like it, because when you read with a Kindle, it's like it's like you don't even feel like you're reading that much, and it just goes by so fast. So like I said, I mostly read romance, YA, dystopian fiction. Yeah. Oh, my favorite tropes are Grumpy Sunshine, Enemies to Lovers, the villain gets the girl. I love those tropes. I think it's because I don't like cliche. Cliche is not for me. I'm still reading right now, and like I said, I'm reading The Fourth Wing, and I'm trying to read A Court of Thorn and Roses, and I'm trying out this new, I think it's classified as a thriller. It's called What Lies Between Us by John Mars. So I'm trying to start that. So, okay, let me just go through my Goodreads finally. So the first book that I read in 2023 was The Ex-Hex. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because like I think it wasn't really my vibe, but I really loved that like feeling of like witchy vibes because it's about a witch hexing witches. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. I really enjoyed that. Then I read The Maze Runner. Okay, The Maze Runner, because I wanted to be more like, that's where my dystopian fiction love came from. I read The Maze Runner, I watched the movie. I would give the overall 4 out of 5 because it was such a great like concept, I think, and I want to continue the series, but I unfortunately didn't read the second book. Next, I read Blissful Masquerade. I don't remember it. I just know it was a romance book. Blissful Masquerade, The Never King, which is a fantasy romance book, and The Dark One. All 3 of those were 3 out of 5. It was just like, it was a quick read, and I think I more read this to kind of get my reading challenge moving along, you know. Read The Risk by S.T. Abbey. Like a lot of people were really raving about this series, but I don't know, it just didn't tickle my fancy. I think this is where my love for fantasy really showed, because like I love romance books. Like I read the whole Twisted series by Anna Huang, and I love that, but like I feel like I just need that fantasy component where it's like, I don't know. Bound by Honor, still a romance book. It's by Cora Riley. I gave that a 3 out of 5 as well. The Heartstopper Yearbook. Okay, this kind of doesn't count. So you could say that I read 17 out of 15. It was just like a picture book and whatever, but I love the Heartstopper series. In fact, I pre-ordered her 5th book, and I'm so excited because I think it's coming out next week. So I don't know if I'll do a reading vlog. Maybe you'll see a reading vlog, who knows. Then I read City of Bones. Like I said, loved the book, 4 out of 5 by Cassandra Clare. I wanted to continue, but I didn't end up continuing. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. I read all 3 of them because the Song of Snakes, oh my gosh, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie was coming out, so I just wanted to come back to Hunger Games. And also because I really didn't understand what was happening in Hunger Games. Like, to be honest with you, I did not understand what was happening, but reading the book really clarified, and like it made me realize the hype behind the Hunger Games. So all of those 4 out of 5. Really loved it. I obviously watched the movies afterwards, and while I was watching the movies, I was like, thank goodness that I read the books, because I wouldn't have known that background knowledge on the characters. So now I understand why before I never understood the movies, and now I do. So those ones were really great. Loved it. Then I read Unravel Me by Tahire Mafi, right? This is the second book in her Shatter Me series, and I read the first book last year, and I just Aaron. Anyways, continued that. I read Ignite Me, the 3rd book. I'm on the 4th book, and I had to take a step back because I was reading this too much, and like it was just so good. It was too good. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now, there's a little bit of controversy, I think, when it comes to this. So a lot of people hated the fact that, like, hated Cornelius Snow because, you know, of who he is. But I loved the fact that we were hating the main character. Like, every time we read books, it's always us rooting for the main character and everything. But this book truly showed what an awful person he is. And I love the fact that you're reading this book hating this guy. Loved it. I loved that experience. I loved the fact that he is just deceptive, and I don't know. I loved it. A lot of people hated the fact that, like, they hated the main character, so they hated the book, but I loved it. And finally, I read Kingdom of the Wicked, the 18th or 17th book. Hated it. Gave it a 2 out of 5. So yeah, the storyline is good. It's a fantasy, mystery, romance. But the romance was like 10%. Mystery was like 60%. And 30% fantasy. So it's about a witch and demons and whatever. But like, I don't know, I just never connected with the main character, and her love story, and the fact that, okay, they spoil it in the synopsis, the fact that her sister dies, and like, I just didn't care for the characters, and it was the first time I didn't care. Like, usually I'd be like, okay, if you don't care, like when people used to say no, I didn't care for the characters, I'd be like, okay, but why would you read it? But for me, I was like, okay, what if it gets better? And it didn't. In my opinion, it didn't get better. So those are the books that I've read. I am hoping that I can read The Fourth Wing Akatar, you know, those books, and finish off the year with 21 books, because that's the amount of books that I have on my TBR. But yeah, that's what I read in 2023. I hope you enjoyed my video, and subscribe, like, and tell your friends about me. Okay, bye.